haki za ulinzi, za haki za wanawake wanakuwa na matatizo sana kwa vile ni wahanga wa mfumo wa ukatili dhidi yao.
Naona ni sahihi kabisa. Tena inaweza nikasema kwamba labda hiyo imechelewa kutokana na siasa zetu ambazo zipo. Sababu siasa zilikuwa zinakandamiza kila yani chama tawala kilikuwa kinaminya watu wote.
Livestock keepers, the government and Wami River Water Board have met to discuss the best way to provide water to livestock without affecting water flow at River Ruvu, as it is depended upon by 7 million people in Dar es Salaam and coast regions, with livestock keepers complaining of special operations being conducted without their involvement affecting their livestock.
Lakini wanakwenda wanarundika ng'ombe makundi na makundi wanachanganya na kuna ng'ombe zingine zimekufa kwa ajili ya athari hii.
They group cows together and mix them up, causing some to die. I was speaking to one livestock keeper who told me that when they arrived, they found the shelters and set them alight. What they do is take the cattle to the river and photograph them, claiming that they found them in the river.
Badala yake tumetoa mpaka Jumatatu wafugaji walioko kwenye maeneo ambayo hawastahili kuwepo watoke kwa hiari yao wenyewe.
We've given you to Monday for livestock keepers in prohibited areas to vacate voluntarily. I will report to the Regional Commissioner, who will give a directive on how to proceed peacefully. His intention is good. Livestock keepers' contribution is important for a nation's development, but we must protect water sources for domestic use.
Some citizens have asked the government to invest in providing education or healthcare for all, as many have not understood how the process will work, how services will be provided, and what diseases will be covered under the insurance.
Kusema serikali ilipashwa itoe maoni kwanza au itoe elimu kama inavyofanya mikutano ya hadhara au mikutano ya kisiasa, lakini sio izungumzie maisha ya watu ya kiafya kwa kuambia kila Mtanzania atakuwa na bima ya afya. Wakati huo hakuna mtu mwingine anajua maana ya bima ni nini.
Unaweza kupata dawa gani au unaweza kwenda hospitali gani? Kwa hao wenyewe hiyo bima ambao wanatupa hawatuelewesha ni bima ikoje. Unaweza kuchukua dawa gani au unaweza kufanya nini?
Ongoing drought in various parts of Manduri districts has caused significant problems to human and livestock due to all dams depended on for water drying up, endangering the lives of residents and their herds.
Tulikuja tukafanya tathmini, tukapita kijiji kwa kijiji, tukakaa na wananchi.
We can do an evaluation village after village. We sat with people from respective villages together with Honorable Member of Parliament to see how together we can rescue the situation during this time of severe drought.
Siku ya Jumatatu nilimtafuta Mheshimiwa DC.
On Monday you looked for Honorable District Commissioner and inquired about the situation and said what is going on is true. So I looked for Honorable Awaso and told him that this problem is severe, and yesterday 100 million emergency fund was approved. There is no rain. Goats are dying. The water we get, we don't know whether to give it to the cows or goats or drink it. We're very happy today.
Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute (JKCI) has successfully conducted cardiac surgeries on 40 children within 1 week. The procedures were done in collaboration with 16 cardiac and health experts from the USA. And heading now to another story, the Minister of Communication and Information Technology, Napin, now has called on girls in the country to use the presence of information technology to resolve challenges in various sectors involving society, including the agricultural sector, which involves over 80% of Tanzanians. Minister Nawe made the remarks in Dar es Salaam when meeting with girls from the AMPS and Girl Institution who participated and won second place in the Invention and Technology competition held in Switzerland on October 10th of this year.
Tunaomba muendelee. Lakini pia niwashukuru AMPS and Girls kwa kubuni jambo hili, kushiriki, na ni kweli kwamba takwimu Sio tu kwetu, takwimu za dunia zinaonyesha kwamba ushiriki wa mabinti kwenye shughuli mbalimbali za tehama sio mkubwa sana. Kwa hiyo unahitaji kampeni fulani, na inawezekana ni kweli kama alivyosema dada yetu pale kwamba pengine ilikuwa perceived kwamba ni kazi za wanaume.
Tutakuwa na annual recognition event ambazo tunafanya competition ya technology zinazogusa agriculture na kutoa awards at the end of the year. Na hii tumeongea na ndugu yangu Nape kuona namna gani tuna embrace technology into agriculture.
Tigo katika kuhakikisha kwamba masuala ya tehama hatuachi nyuma na tukae nyuma. Tunataka tushiriki effectively kwenye fourth industrial revolution. Tunashirikiana na APSANGAO kuhakikisha kwamba tehama katika mashule hususan kwa watoto wa kike inathaminiwa.
A few days after the government intervened in the problem of long queues experienced by lorries at the Tanzania-Zambia border in Tunduma, the Customs Agents Association at the border have rejected their leaders, alleging bias in implementation of their duties, which has led to continued queues at the border.
Kwenye grupu la maagenti la taarifa ya gari kuvuka barabarani hakuna taarifa, lakini ukikaa barabarani unaona kuna gari zinazovuka.
In the agents group, there was no information about the vehicle, but you could see vehicles crossing over. We realized that some of our leaders who own companies process their vehicles first before calling us.
Cha kwanza tulikuwa tunataka kwanza ile kamati ya barabarani walio.
We don't want the road committee they had nominated. It must stay away from this issue because it is they who are the main problem. They take bribes and allow vehicles to cross over. A meeting was held today where the road committee was dissolved and our chairperson has resigned. I sent a letter, but I've not received a reply. When I do, I will speak.
And that marks the end of the national news. We'll take a brief break and return for international news. Welcome back, and now international news. The exercise to vet those recommended to be ministers in President William Ruto's new cabinet has ended today at Parliament, where 4 appointed ministers were questioned.
I, Franklin Mithika Linturi, I also want to say that if we were to make sure that there is good return, and if we were really to ensure that once a farmer is able to predict what price he may be able to.
How do we do this, Mr. Chairman? One, the starting point again is the ICT infrastructure. Ensure that through the digital superhighway, we have got reliable and stable and extensive ICT infrastructure all over the country. And then once we have done that, we come in to see ways and means of lowering the cost of internet so that we have got access to internet all over the country.
As of now, almost each and every part of the country, both primary and secondary, there is a serious shortage, and that is why this administration in the Education Charter has made it very clear that in a 2-year period, we will be able to employ at least 116 teachers.
European Union leaders have failed to reach an agreement on a plan to help protect their citizens from the surging energy prices, despite hours of wrangling at a summit in Brussels. Here are more details to the story.
The group's leaders emerged from the second summit in Brussels with a roadmap to agreeing on a set of measures to lower energy bills, which have soared as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. While the announcement of the summit text made a public show of unity among the 27 member states, the absence of any decision on capping gas prices indicated negotiations would remain difficult. No time frame was given on when a decision on price caps would be made, with EU energy ministers due to meet in Luxembourg on Tuesday for further discussions. The published text calls on the European Commission and EU countries to find ways to shield consumers from the high prices while preserving Europe's global competitiveness and the integrity of the single market.
And that marks the end of the international news. We'll take a short breather and return for business news. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Capital TV News Bulletin, and now business news. Serengeti Breweries Limited has announced a plan to purchase barley and millet crops from farmers, with the company currently purchasing over 20,000 tons of the crop per year in order to increase production of their beverages and enable farmers to benefit from the crops.
We use crops from farmers such as maize and sorghum. 80% is from farmers in Tanzania, from regions such as Kilimanjaro, Manyara, Arusha. So we get them contracts to use as collateral and offer them training.
I'm
very happy by the way they pay government tax. They started slow, but last year they reached 201 million. So if the factory continues to expand, then the government will get more in revenue.
For the first time, the government of Zanzibar has signed a joint venture agreement with a private investment company that will witness the production and operation of the first center providing hatchlings of various types of ocean species.
Mgao wa Afrivision utakuwa ni 51% na mgao wa serikali ni 49%. Nadhani ni sahihi. Lakini
ifahamike kuwa matango bahari kwa mfano.
This partnership will influence our efficiency in our productions, including sea cucumbers, which are used in food, medicines and cosmetics. This product is very popular in Asian countries like China, Japan and Korea.
Industrial investors in the country have been advised to seek out markets outside the country in order to resolve challenges in lack of markets, as well as to expand their revenue, which in doing so will increase the country's revenue.
Our factory is paying between 800 million to 1 billion shillings tax in Manyara region. As organizers of this event, we collaborated with Regional Commissioner's Office.
And that marks the end of the business news. We'll take a short break again and return for sports. And now, sports news. The International Women's Sports Competition for 2022 has entered into its second day, with women showing off their skills in athletics, boxing, karate and more, with Kenya leading in the athletics.
Mwamko wa mbio za uwanjani kwa sasa unatokana na jitihada za Wizara ya Michezo. Umeshaupa kipaumbele michezo ya uwanjani, na kama unafahamu kwenye upande wa marathon au michezo barabarani kwa Tanzania tuko vizuri, manake michezo imeshakuwa mingi, lakini tuna uhaba mbio za uwanjani.
Ni fursa kwa sababu hapa karibuni tunategemea kuwa na mashindano ya klabu bingwa ya Zanzibar ambayo yatafanyika kuanzia tarehe 4 mpaka tarehe 6 mwezi wa 11, na mgeni rasmi tunataraji atakuwa ni Rais wa Zanzibar na mwenyekiti wa Baraza la Mapinduzi Dr. Hussein Mwinyi.
The new Kilimanjaro Marathon season has officially launched, with 12,000 athletes from over 55 countries confirming participation at the races that will take place in February 26, 2023, with the first place winner for women and men to take home 4.2 million shillings.
Hili si jambo dogo hata kidogo. Kupata watu 12,000 kwenye mji wa Moshi, mkoa wa Kilimanjaro, zaidi ya siku 2 wamekaa pale. Na bahati nzuri nimeona hapa video. ambayo inaonyesha watu wakishiriki kilomita 5, kilomita 21 na kilomita 42.
Tumeweza kuifikisha kwenye sehemu ambayo wote tunafurahia. Ni mbio au ni kategori ambayo kategori ya marathon inayopendwa zaidi. Tunakuwa na washiriki zaidi ya 5 kila mwaka, na ni mbio ambayo kila mtu anataka kukimbia kilomita 21.
The Ministry of Culture, Arts and Sports has said Tanzania will be the first African country to host the Miss Deaf International competition. The competition is expected to take place on October 29th of this year at the Julius Nyerere International Convention Center.
Mimi naona ni sawa tu, hakuna habari ya kuogopana. Mimi pia nimefurahi kwamba sisi tunakutana na nchi mbalimbali, tunajifunza mambo mengi, tunabadilishana mawazo. Ndio maana hata mimi pia niko happy, nina furaha.
Nchi ya amani, nimepokelewa vizuri sana, ni nchi yenye ushirikiano mkubwa sana. Kwa nategemea matumaini, nategemea matarajio makubwa sana. Matarajio yangu ni makubwa sana kwamba tutaishi kwa amani.
The Speaker of the Council of Representatives of Zanzibar, Zubair Ali Maulid, has said that the contributions provided by sponsors for sports is key in building the country in sports.
Kuweza kusaidiwa kwa maana ya udhamini kwenye shughuli za mashindano. Safari hii mashindano ya mabunge ya Afrika Mashariki yanatarajiwa kufanyika Sudani ya Kusini. Kwa hiyo kabla muda huu haujafika, basi tunautumia wakati huu kujaribu kutafuta assistance kutoka kwa marafiki na taasisi mbalimbali ambazo tunahisi zinaweza kutupa mchango na kutusaidia.
The Cycling Association in Burundi is expected to launch the second phase of the international cycling competition for women from October 24th to 29th of this year, with 8 countries including Tanzania expected to participate.
Ibihugu byari byitavye mu mwaka uheze byari ivyo muri aka karere kacu tugitangura international 45.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.
Watch Capital News at 9:30 and get updated on what is happening in Tanzania and around the world on political, social, and economic issues and events, without forgetting business and sports news. You can get it all right here on Capital News at 9:30 from Monday to Friday on Zuku Channel 067, Digitech Channel 1103, and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania.
Kwenye kingamuzi cha DSTV, ITV inapatikana kwenye channel namba 383. Kwenye kingamuzi cha Azam, ITV inapatikana kwenye channel namba 408. Kwenye kingamuzi cha Star Times, ITV inapatikana kwenye channel namba 514 DTT antenna na 107 DTH satellites.